Welcome, guys. This is the What's Up podcast, and I'm your host, Brady Watt. Welcome to the What's Up podcast, and I'm your host, Brady Watt. And this is episode 8. I am joined by a special guest today. He is Mr. Peninsula, some would say. He's from Rosebud. I played golf with him today and lost cash, so probably the timing is impeccable, but definitely a good friend of mine. He is a footy built guy, hits it a long way. Mr. Anthony Marchesani.
How you going, Braids? Pleasure to be here, mate.
Oh, glad I could finally get you on the show. Footy is on the horizon tonight. Game 1 of the shortened season, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
As a Carlton supporter, you guys are going to have to wait to the weekend to play, I think.
Yeah, Saturday Arvo 4:40, I think we are.
Okay. So are you in Supercoach?
No, doing the Dream Team. We touched on this today. It's the amateur league, I've heard.
The lower league. So
yeah.
all
for the rookies.
For the rookies, all the real people do Supercoach, some would say. But we won't get into too much Supercoach stuff. We'll actually talk about real footy. So your dad was a Carlton great, some would say.
Oh, he tells us he is. He played back in the early 80s.
Okay.
I think he played 36 games for Carlton.
How many goals?
I can't tell you that one. I'm not too sure.
I'll look it up later.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll call Frank myself.
You're the stat man, so I thought you would have had that ready for me.
I had 15, but anyway, I'm just making up numbers.
He played 16 games for Fitzroy his first season, and then made the move. Kind of controversial.
Okay.
Not many people know the true story. We won't touch on that too much, but then he moved to Carlton and played there after he bagged from as a kid. So
beautiful.
I didn't have much choice in the matter.
So there's no pies chatting about it?
No, definitely not. No.
Okay. Well, okay. So tonight, Richmond, Collingwood. Who's your pick? And who's in your team today? In your rookie draft class, I guess.
My pick tonight, it's a tough one.
Yes.
Being rivals of both of those clubs. I want Collingwood to beat Richmond, but I think Richmond will be too good.
I think as long as Dusty can score over 100 points in Supercoach, that's all I matter.
Yeah, I've got Dusty in my team. So
okay.
As long as Dusty, I think I've got Castagna as well. As long as he kicks a few snags up forward,
beautiful.
I'll be right.
Beautiful. Well, my team, the West Coast Eagles, they're on the Gold Coast. They're settling into hub life. Definitely pretty annoying that they're not going to play at Optus till week whenever these riots end now, I guess, with whether the lockdown's going to be extended. There's a lot going on over in Australia, especially Victoria right now, but it's all to play for. But yeah, footy is back on the horizon.
It is, but we don't need West Coast getting any more advantages.
Mate,
it's good they're up at the Goldie, not at Optus.
We're still going to win the free kick count, so it doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. So, growing up, always played footy. When did you start playing golf? You've obviously went to the US, but we could touch on that later. So when did you start golf? Where did you play?
Golf. I played golf since I was probably 4, whenever Dad put a club in my hand. But he wouldn't let me play footy. Okay. I always wanted to play footy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he never really let me play until under 13s was my first year, and it was halfway through because I had to beg him to play.
Yeah.
The year before that in primary school, I actually made like a rep team, but I've never actually played a game of footy, and I made a rep team through my primary school. So
is that just based on size or just kind of?
No, we had like a tryout. So
yeah,
and then I ended up playing with a few guys that play AFL nowadays, and then playing against them, like Tom Lynch and Mitch Allahan, some of those guys. So I got to rub shoulders with them, and back then they were a little bit smaller than they are now. But
jeez, well, they're weapons now, aren't they?
So with footy, I played until under 16s, and then just kind of fell out of love with it. Certain players on the team and coaches and stuff like that, and then golf kind of took over later in my teens, I guess.
Yeah, so played a bit of footy, and then led into golf, obviously, and then your brother went to college in the US, and then. What was your take on that? Were you thinking you're going to follow him in those footsteps, or?
Yeah, so I had really not too great an idea of what I wanted to do post high school.
Okay.
I played, a few events here or there when I was a junior, and started to show some improvement. And then in my year out of school is when I kind of thought that I wanted to go and follow his footsteps into the college system, because I didn't really know if I wanted to do university here, and then I had an opportunity to be able to do university over there and play college events, and I guess travel the country over in the US, kind of living on your own. So you kind of got your own, I guess.
It's definitely like I remember thinking about it as a junior, kind of coming through like a couple of colleges send you an email here and there, and it's like it's a big step for an 18-year-old. You're thinking, well, I got to move out of home, got a pretty good mum and dad cooking me food.
Yeah, definitely. Stuff. I think the easiest thing for me was because James was already over there, and I went over there, I guess, a year earlier than when I ended up moving to the US, and I watched them play. So I met most of the team. I met the coach.
Yeah.
So I kind of was already half settling in before I even got there.
Well, that's good. I think a lot of Australians obviously going over to college sports, especially college golf, they haven't seen it before. It's a big jump. It's a different culture. Everything's bigger in Texas.
And definitely that's probably what James had to go through.
Yeah.
So I didn't go through it as much as probably what he did because I had him when I got there.
So Big Brother paved the way, I guess.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah.
Well, good on Jim. He definitely held me up the bar. I would have paid a lot more money today if it wasn't for Jim.
Definitely.
But hopefully I'll bring my putting game to, next time if I'm invited back, I guess. I think Jim was pretty upset today. But
yeah, he might not give you the invite. I'll give you the invite. But
we'll throw the balls and then I'll be on the opposite team and stitch him up. But anyways, yeah, so you went over there after seeing your brother play a couple of events. You did your 4 years, I believe.
4.5. Yeah.
4.5. And what did you major in academically wise?
So I did a business course which majored in finance.
Perfect.
But the college system over in the US with university degrees is a lot different to what they are here.
Okay.
You got to do their 2 years of general subjects which range from art, history, politics, religion. So you kind of get that out the way your first 2 years, then you kind of, dwell into your major.
I didn't know that. I think I think here it's kind of you do your 4 base subjects and then you can really go into your niche or major in something completely different.
I think it's the whole college dream that they have over there, so they want to drag it out for as long as they can. That's why they implement those sort of classes.
Well, it's the college experience, right?
Well, correct, experience, yeah.
Especially if you've got like a big football team like NFL or gridiron, we call it sometimes over here. But did your college have a basketball team?
We had basketball.
Okay.
We were in the NAIA division, so we were like a smaller private university. But we competed in golf. We competed with some of the best colleges. We played some D1 events. We won them. Never got invited back.
Well, that's kind of how it works, right?
Yeah.
You win a Tuesday game and you never get invited back.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
But little ongoing running joke. 4 years, did your finance degree. Any memorable wins, team wins?
Yeah, so my first year of playing, so I sat out for 1 semester when I got there as a red shirt.
Yeah.
But my first year, we won a national championship. We ended up winning by, I think, a record margin of 27 shots. That was with James on the team as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, we were comprised of 2 Aussies, 2 South Africans, and a Norwegian competing over in America. So,
worldwide team.
Yeah, it was
team,
a team of foreigners is what the US boys used to call us.
Okay.
But then, in my last year as well, we won nationals again in my senior year, so that was a good send off. And I had a few individual wins throughout my college career, which was also pretty cool.
Cool. So James was there for your first 2 years. Is
Correct.
That correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so he kind of like showed you what was about all the town, the college kind of stuff, and then you're on your own for 2 years. Any advice you would give to anyone that was thinking about doing the college route instead of playing the amateur kind of circuit in Australia or like around New Zealand and that?
I think the biggest thing for me is you probably find a lot about yourself going over there because you're kind of thrown in the deep end.
Yep.
You don't really know the culture or kind of the system as well with how college works or university works, where you kind of know what you're going to get when you're in Australia.
Yes.
But the best thing for me was getting the degree. Yep. So you've got the degree to fall back on if golf doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And you're in a team as well. You're in a team environment. So you're in a team environment your whole 4 years, which you don't get that as an amateur golfer or as a professional. Yeah,
it's funny that because in Australia you just play golf full time. You might have a part-time job. Over there, obviously, you need to be a resident or have a green card to be able to work X amount, or unless you're
Yeah.
doing cashies, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah.
don't want the ATO don't listen on this. Yeah, I think in Australia, somewhat, if they did play golf full time and did a part-time studying, that would be a different route. Something I'm learning about now, obviously with this lockdown and that.
Yeah, and as well, you'd be on your own throughout that whole time, unless you were in the institute. If you're in the VIS, unless you're in one of those programs.
So yeah, somewhat protected in an organisation.
Yeah,
that provides that funding.
Yeah, as a college student, you've got your coach, you've got your teammates, then you've got the new friends you make over there, and you kind of ride that the whole way through.
Yeah.
Once it's done, then you kind of like, oh, hold on a second, now I've got to do this on my own. So that's when it gets real. But I guess with amateurs, that's kind of how you are the whole way through. You're always on your own. Yeah, you might travel with a few others, but they probably don't care for you as much as what, say, a teammate would.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. Well, like moving a little bit more forward into the Pro-Am kind of circuit, and like a few tier 2s. Can we say tier 2s now? Tier 1s, or 4-rounders.
Smaller events.
Smaller 4-rounders in Australia. We're all, you've got your group. You've probably got, everyone's quite friendly with everyone. But there's definitely a core group of, 5, 6, 7, 8 people where we all travel together. We somewhat stay close together, and we all have dinner together. So there's not that separation of just, I'm out here on my own. Obviously, we speak the same language here. It's not a huge culture shift like it was when you moved to the US. Like I lived there for 4 years, I think it was, and got a bit fat on the side there. But it took me. It's
good food.
Yeah, well, I definitely ate too much, but just kind of like the culture shift on how it is over there, and just it is slightly different to Australia.
Definitely, I think most places you go, not everywhere, but especially Oklahoma, they're very conservative.
Yeah.
So for a young Australian who's can be a bit loose here or there, just having a bit of fun, it's definitely different.
Somewhat impressionable.
Yeah, they kind of sit back and go, oh, what's going on here, or what's he saying, and but you get used to it. When you can be a bit out there or when you have to be conservative. So you do learn how to kind of zigzag your way through, certain things with them.
I think it's a sarcasm that kind of we are very indirectly somewhat telling the truth all the time, but we're like, sometimes it might sound too aggressive.
Might offend them. So you kind of have to back off. But then again, you're like, well, that's what I want to say.
I've got this far, so I might as well keep going.
Correct. And then it digs you a big hole sometimes. So.
Oh, whoops, I'll just run the other way.
Yeah.
Well, they have guns over there, but we won't talk about that.
Definitely not. Let's not get political.
Yeah. So you, 4 years, got your degree, learned a lot over there. Are you still friends with a lot of people?
Yeah, lots, yeah.
Yeah. So when's the next trip? I guess we can rule out this year. COVID's done that.
Oh,
next year there's going to be another. Who knows?
It definitely have to be sooner rather than later. I went back a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That was good catching up with a few of them, but as well, a lot of them are kind of scattered over the States now. They're not all back where we went to college, so it's a little bit more difficult. We're trying to get a few of them over here for years, but they haven't taken the plunge yet, which I don't know why.
Mate, it's beautiful down here.
Yeah.
Well, it is winter, but how good today was.
I mean, we've got the footy, so you can normally drag them over with, come watch the AFL, but you can't go to the games at the moment, and you can't even get in the country, so...
Yeah, well, I've noticed every American that watches AFL, they go, that's the best sport I've ever seen. Yeah, you guys aren't wearing pads.
How are you hiding this from us? What is this game?
What is this chaos? I'm like, it's the game. Well, some people call it aerial ping pong, but it is a beautiful game.
Correct.
So I moved back home, and then you were thinking about turning professional, or you kind of dipping your toes on I'm going to see how I fare up in the top amateurs in Australia and go from there.
Yeah, it's pretty spot on. I never really thought I would try and turn professional before I went to the States.
Yeah.
But after a few years of, I guess I would say, rapid improvement, that kind of became what I wanted to do. I moved back home in the middle of 2016.
Okay.
But the back end of my college career, there wasn't something right with my body. So I was kind of just getting through, struggling with, getting up for each event. Even though we didn't play that many, it was tough when I was out there playing. So when I came home, I went back into full practice, I didn't have to study, so I was out there for 8-9 hours a day instead of 4 hours a day.
Perfect.
And then I was playing as well, trying to play a few bigger events down here.
Yeah.
And then I was playing the Portsea Open, which is only half an hour from me down here. And the last day was 36 holes, and it was probably about 8 degrees, raining, windy, cold.
So summer in Melbourne.
So yeah, it was summer actually. I think it was January, but no, it was July.
Summer in Peninsula.
So I think it was July, around the end of July, and I remember the next day, I went to get out of bed, and I couldn't stand up. So from then I thought, okay, something is actually wrong. Like I need to get this checked, and I ended up having hip surgery a couple of months later.
Really?
So that, because I was going to go to tour school at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So that ended up having, I had hip surgery. I was given a 12-week recovery, and then I could start practicing slightly again. And within 12 weeks, I think tour school was about the 14-week mark, and I went anyway, which
so this
major regrets.
Was this 2016?
This is end of 2016.
End of 16, came home, done your hip. Do you know what you did? Was it footy related, golf, extra stress of practicing?
I just think it was years of golf and gym over in the US, because I found gym as quite a good hobby when we had our downtime over there.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys enjoyed doing it, and they kind of dragged me in and said, this is what we're doing. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't really like it the first few times I went.
Oh, being a competitive Australian, you're like, well,
and then,
I'm going to keep lifting. I'm just going to keep going.
And then I think that kind of wore on me towards the end, but I'm not sure. Like, it never happened in an instant. So it was kind of like a gradual kind of injury. And I had a labral tear, I had an impingement on my bone. So they shaved that away through keyhole surgery.
Yeah.
But I haven't had any issues with that hip since. So that was good.
We didn't have a problem today taking my money. But,
I thought we weren't going to talk about that.
Well, we'll talk about it later maybe. But I think because golf is such a one-sided sport, I think getting the balance on kind of doing postural exercises is very important. You know, I kind of, now that I'm over the hump, 30, I guess, it's kind of like, well, I need to actually get on the roller. Big three. I don't want to talk about it, right? So yeah, definitely need to stretch a bit more and kind of just get your body moving. You know, you still, because generally we swing it at a high pace. You know, I think anything over 118, you're putting a lot of stress on your body.
Yeah, it's not a natural movement, is it?
No. Well, some people say that hitting a golf ball at full pace with the driver is like bracing for a car accident.
Yeah.
So, you know, you do that multiple years, like you've been playing golf for 20 odd years.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like something has to give somewhat. So, injuries. I've been lucky, touch wood, that I haven't had anything, just a niggle here and there, but it's something definitely to stay on top of. End of 2016, that happened. You got through Q school, missed Q school.
Missed by a mile.
Missed Q school.
Shouldn't even went.
Okay.
It was a bit of an eye opener though with what I needed to do. I actually met Michael Choi that year. That's when I met Chewy, the guest on the
Mr. Victorian Pro-Am.
Mr. Pro-Am winner. I met him there. I played with him.
Yep.
But yeah, missed by a mile.
Okay.
So that was a bit of an eye opener. I went through that, and then so 2017, I kind of thought I'll get my body right.
Yeah.
Play a few events, and then give it a crack again. And then I ended up getting through and got my full card the year after.
Oh, okay. So you watched the Eagles win the grand final against Collingwood, and then you got your card after that.
I must have had some inspiration maybe from the Eagles.
Dom Sheed, mate.
I lost my voice that day. I wanted West Coast to win that bad because of Collingwood. But then I met you, and then now I wish Collingwood had won because I hear about it every day.
Well, you know, definitely. We're in a bubble right now where this is our time to win, that with Richmond and GWS and Collingwood, but we'll see how that goes tonight, I guess.
Correct.
So, yeah, I met you... Definitely heard about you a lot because I was living kind of in the US, kind of coming back, and we knew similar friends, Jamie Warman, kind of like overlapping, and then matter of time we met each other. I want to say 2018 when I was kind of hovering here. We went to Q school about the same time in Australia, and then we played the whole 2019. We played all the pro-ams through, pretty much travelled every part of Australia together, somewhat.
Yeah, it would have been 2018 Q school. We kind of crossed paths at say Sandhurst and Moona.
Yeah,
I think you're friends with Andrew Sconwell, and I think I met him through you back then. And then 2019, we pretty much travelled the country together. Really, every event. your face would pop up, and we're like, and then I think our love for sports is what made us become close, because the NBA, NFL, the list goes on.
It just keeps going. But it's funny, you play your first couple of events in January, February, and you kind of suss out, well, he's going to be playing these events in WA. Well, he's from there. We're probably going to go up to Broome, have a good time, and then you're kind of well, we're kind of similar, kind of like after the primes, it's a bit more relaxed. You can have a couple of beers with your playing partners, give them a good time. I think that's important with sponsorship, especially in those smaller events, because they will remember you forever.
For sure. And at times like this, hopefully those impressions will make them want to come back.
Or sponsor the event again.
Correct.
So like the Broome Prime will go ahead because, everyone has a good week there. But we definitely... How good was the Broome week?
Oh.
Cricket on the beach.
Unbelievable.
Got sunburnt. Well, you didn't you just got browner. I just went redder.
Yeah, it was weird. Got fried for a week and played golf. It was awesome.
The old Italian genes, eh? There you go. Pro-Am 2020 now, COVID. What have you been doing? What has Anthony Marchesani been doing in isolation lockdown?
Not a whole lot, Brady.
Not a whole lot?
I don't think much of us have been doing too much.
No.
But I've been trying to, I guess, keep my body right for the last couple of years. So that's been the main goal I've had, because we haven't been able to practice as normal. Well, the courses were shut. So my brother built a net out the front of our house, which I used probably... I think I can count it on my hand how many times I used it.
It was busy the first week.
It was busy the first day. I was like, how good is this? I'm going to practice every day. And then I got over hitting the ball into the same spot on the net.
I'm going to hit it through the fence a second.
Luckily that never happened. So the neighbours are probably happy with that one.
Yeah, definitely.
But other than that, just trying to keep the body right. Started seeing a few of my friends that I haven't seen for the last, obviously, 2 or 3 years because of all the travel. Well, probably since 2012, really.
What's the most time any professional golfer has spent at home?
Correct, yeah.
Living somewhat a normal life and kind of, what's this all about? I think my partner's kind of over me being at the house. Just get out with Frank.
Frank isn't there? I'm sure he's pretty happy.
Yeah, Frank the cat. I think he's over me as well.
But so it's been tough for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But hopefully everyone can come out on the better side. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's definitely trying on a lot of people's mental health. Obviously, next steps moving forward. What do I really want to do in life? Because the PGA of Australia is a smaller tour somewhat, we're not playing for $7 million, what they're playing for in the US this week. We definitely have to think next steps. What are we going to do with our golf moving forward? What government support we're eligible for somewhat, lining up at the dole office. That's
job seeker, job keeper, job whatever. It's getting crazy now. I think I read something this morning that they want to extend it another 7 months.
Oh, well,
the economy
hopefully they do.
Hopefully they do for us.
Yeah.
But the economy's going to struggle from it. It's going to be tough. But...
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword for sure. But I think because we're kind of out of the sponsorship bubble where you're at a country club and someone throws you $100K and go and have fun and play golf and, wear my badge or on your shoulder is kind of past that window somewhat. So we're on our own back, doing our own thing. Definitely finding out what we're made of right now, I guess.
Yeah, true. I think at the same time, that's kind of how it is on everyday life for us on tour in Australia.
Yeah.
Because we're not playing for that $7 million purse every week. We're playing for that little purse. So, I mean, we're always trying to, I wouldn't say cut corners when we travel, but we all obviously stick together and try and cut costs. So it's going to be, it'll be interesting to see how we all go about it once tournaments do come back on. If everyone still goes and plays, or a lot of people are going to skip certain events more so than what they did in the past.
Well, I think still with interstate borders being shut, it's kind of like, well...
Or even that, yeah.
You play the Victorian events, the Queensland people play the Queensland events, and then we kind of ride it out. But because it's so performance-based, your 71 may not get paid that day. Even though somewhat 71's a good score on someone's boat. I think I shot 72 today, and that was not good enough for anyone's boat. But so it's an interesting time for Australian golf, especially for budding professionals like ourselves. We're trying to figure out next steps, trying to stay positive. I think it's healthy that we play a lot of these Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday midweek games with each other, kind of check in on each other and just know that it's going to be okay, that we're all in contact somewhat.
Yeah, definitely. And as well, with those Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday games, you start enjoying golf a little bit more again.
Yeah.
Instead of just rocking up and, I got a practice round today, or rocking up to the Pro-Am, okay, it doesn't have a range. Oh, I can't warm up today.
Perfect. Well, it is funny because we even today it's like 3-4 footers. It's like, oh yeah, pick it up. We're playing social golf. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
No stress today, but
then you have to putt one on the 16th to keep it going, and it's.
Oh gosh. Well, hopefully that's the one you hole, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is an interesting time playing golf socially. I've definitely fell in love with golf again somewhat. Kind of enjoy playing all these cool sandbelt courses, especially Rosebud. Rosebud was fantastic this morning.
It was good. Perfect day. I mean, when you can pick and choose your days now.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to play in the rain anymore.
No, exactly. As soon as it rains, you text each other. Like last Tuesday, we were meant to play St Andrews last Tuesday.
Yeah, no, I think we went for a coffee instead. That was
I think the course got blown away that day, so it was probably good we didn't play.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. So yeah, it's been great talking to you. Kind of new to this podcast space, but it's nice to bring my mates in and put a face to golf in Australia. Kind of put a bit of a bobblehead to somewhat. This is Anthony Marchesani.
It's good to be on, mate. I'm glad finally we don't have another Essendon supporter. That was getting a bit old.
Oh, well, yeah, I did get a bit of feedback.
3 in a row?
3 too many in a row. Oh. I don't mind. I got a soft spot for Carlton.
Because of me?
Well, Grace is her dad is a supporter. So back in the older days, he was like, BFL.
Oh, so he knows Frank.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's all interconnected somewhat, but I do hope the Baggers make the 8 this year. Somewhat.
Oh, I mean, you've got the goat on your team. I mean, Patrick Cripps.
WA boy.
We'll move past that.
I wouldn't say
he's
boy.
Playing for Carlton. He's a Melbourne boy now.
Or he's a Carlton captain.
We've stolen him.
He's 6'5" and he's 100 too many kilos, and no one can touch him.
Hopefully we can give him some help, mate. Hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully you can knock some of those Victorian teams off and give Eagles a clear shot at the premiership, I guess. There you go. I'm just talking too much now, I think. But I like to wrap up this segment by dealer's choice, I guess, given the... I'm not going to say the host. It's not the host. It is the interviewee. A question. So, have you got something prepared? I think I warned you prior to this, so I didn't throw Chewy on the spot last week, and he was a bit confused, and he threw a vegan question at me, and we went right down the rabbit hole.
I'm not gonna go down the vegan path. We've had too many conversations about it.
Just do your best, right?
I'll do it. Okay. So we've played plenty of Tuesday, Thursday games. You've played all around the world. I know you can't really say me because I'm sitting in front of you, but who's the most impressive player you've played with?
Most impressive player on a Tuesday or any
time you've played all around the world, any time you've ever played, whether it's just pure ball striker, putter, anything.
I want to say Louis Oosthuizen. I played a 9-hole. I wouldn't say match. We weren't playing against him. It was me. Yeah. It was myself, Kevin Phelan, Irish guy, Louis Oosthuizen and Brandon Grace, and they were playing a money game against each other. And as both South Africans, they had an interesting game where every 9 you had it was like a drawback somewhat. So if you hold a putt, they could ask you to replay it, or you hit a really good shot, they had to ask you to play it again. So like, say you hit an unbelievable bunker shot that was dead, they could ask you to play it again. So Louis,
can you please not bring these rules into our games?
No,
you've got too many rules
there
already.
Some people say I've got too many rules in my rule game, but I think the house always wins. If you mark on the card, if you lay the rules out, you should win. Today was just an investment in the future, I guess. But yeah, I remember Louis hit this driver off the deck from like 260 and like straight in the breeze, hit it to like 10 feet. And then Brandon's like, oh, hit it again. Did it again. And it was like, yeah, but his ball striking is just... But I think he's got his priorities right in life. I think I was having a chat to him when we were playing, and he's 3 things. Golf was not number 1. It was family, his farm, and golf. So if his family, if his family is happy, he travels every week with his I think it was 2-3 daughters now. Yeah, his wife, and then he checks on his farm in South Africa.
I know he's into his John Deere's.
Loves it. He's like, if those 2 things are right, I can just go play golf. And he only plays 13, 14 events. I think he's got a bad back somewhat.
He's done everything, hasn't he? Wrist, hammy.
Yeah, but I think he probably might have done that on the farm. No, probably not. But I think he is a good example of having your priorities in the right area and kind of like that feeds into his love
Makes
of
golf easier.
Yeah. Well, how much easier is our golf when it's not really for pressure right now?
Yeah,
Like
true.
how much are you enjoying life right now without the stress of golf?
Oh, huge. Like not having to worry about where you're traveling or worry about when you are traveling, what tomorrow's going to, what's going to happen.
How's my body going to wake
Yeah,
up?
exactly.
Am I going to hold putts today?
Yeah.
I need to shoot under par to make the cut. 5 under's probably going to make a bit of money. But Tim Hart just shot 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
Anyways, that seems like a rolling theme, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we had that bit of that feeling this year in Queensland together.
oh, we both missed the cut by one. We both played pretty solid. Tough. A course that I think it was Pelican Waters didn't really suit my eye. I was a bit bit grainy up in Queensland. But yeah,
But one less shot and your spectrum of happiness is so much higher. But we both have that one more shot and.
golf's a cutthroat game.
Exactly.
Definitely a cutthroat game. We aren't going to have that stress for a little bit of time. Hopefully October, the PGA rolls some more events into our circulation so we can actually train for something. Not just flopping around.
Instead of rocking up from the car park, having a couple of car park swings on the first tee and trying not to hit in the motel at Rosebud.
Yeah, literally. I was 15 minutes early for our 8:20 tee time today, and I think I was the second person there. I couldn't see anyone else. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. We're enjoying our golf, getting a coffee around the 9 holes. But yeah, it's been enjoyable. Anthony, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, mate. Pleasure.
Mate, being beautiful. Hope everyone enjoyed listening to my interview with Anthony Marchesani, and go the Eagles.